Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit or two. Perhaps. I'm throwing the Bear Cave Lego the site emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber and you apply with those emotes, this is the hangout portion of the stream, the intro portion, where we're just going to chill a little bit, get settled, make sure that everything's cool, make sure we're all ready to go. Lashbrook's here. Hi, Lashbrook. Bobby Dice Roller is here. Welcome, Bobby. Happy to have you here. And then when we're ready, we're going to get into the building process. We're going to finish up this Windam. We've got Aristophan's here. Hi, Aristophan. Welcome, welcome. We got the upper part of the kit all constructed. We've got one leg done. Julie Cooley's here. Hi, Julie. We got most of the other leg done, and of course the other foot done. So we got to finish the leg, build the waist, build the backpack, the weapons, and the shield, and then we'll be done. And then it will be time for moving on to our next kit, which I'm very excited working the Zakrello HARO. Zakrello, a mobile suit from the original series. This is the HARO version of it, so it is the ball fun form version. So excited for that. And yeah, mostly we're just going to kind of chill and build some stuff and talk about some things and some things, perhaps, even. I am going to mention this a couple times throughout the stream, but I am participating in the Plastic Model Weekender. So if you haven't already, make sure you give a follow to twitch.tv/Plamo Weekender. That will be going from the 16th through the 18th. It'll be, I believe, 21 builders throughout the whole weekend. People that work on Gunpla, people that work on metal kits, people that work on Lego sets, people that build their own things and do their own kind of crafting. And so it should be a really fun stream. A bunch of different great streamers coming together, benefiting the Cure Alzheimer's Fund, which is a group dedicated to putting money towards curing Alzheimer. And the board does not take a dollar from the group, so all fundraising goes directly to the foundation and its work, which is awesome. And a point I wanted to make because I learned it. That was a fun fact that I wanted to share with you. Anyway, I'm going to tell you now, I'm streaming on Friday that weekend. So I won't be during this normal stream. I'm going to stream on a Friday. Now that does mean that Thursday, the 15th, I'm not going to stream. Because otherwise I would do a bonus gaming stream on Wednesday, then a build stream on Thursday, the build stream for that on Friday, and then my own build stream on Saturday. And that's too many days. Yes, did I do a 4-day in a row stream not too long ago where I watched the Anime Awards? Yeah, that was like an hour and a half, and it was not 3 hours of model kit building because I'm going to do a 3-hour stream for them. So I'll take that Thursday the 15th off, but the 16th I'll be doing that event. And that's something that I think we're all going to be excited about. I know I am. So that's coming. Also, should mention, we are at 46 out of 50 subscribers. The goal would be to get to 50. 50 is where I like to sit. No pressure. Putting it out there. The number stays up till we hit 50, then it goes away until we need more subscribers. If you're considering becoming a subscriber, continuing your gift sub, gifting a sub, these are all cool things you can do. You are under no obligation to do any of it, but I should mention it because I do like to be at 50 because 50 just means that this is very consistent income coming in on my end. So I'm putting it out there. Thank you very much for your time. I'm going to retweet my tweet. We're going to get into building. So I'll say that. It's Monday night, and I'm model kit building. So let's get into it. Yes, so you can see the numbers there. You can see the build. Working on this. We're going to continue on the leg here by attaching the front piece here, C2, C22, and B29. All right, so we'll do that. So, top of the stream, a conversation topic that we might have tonight. I don't know if we're going to, how far we're going to get into it. I don't know if we really want to talk about it. I'm going to bring it up, see what comes up. I did a poll on my Twitter today. We got plenty of good responses for it, so I'm very happy about the responses we got on that poll. But I basically was like, hey, let's say you have the vaccine, when would you go to a convention? ASAP, late 2021, 2022, or never? Now, I could only put 4 options in. And maybe I should have, instead of ASAP, I should have done this year instead of ASAP, right? But I did want to know who people were like, hey, as soon as I get it, there's something in the summer, I'm going. I was interested in that, so I included that. And maybe I shouldn't have. But then I also, because there's probably a difference between 2022 and never. There's something probably in between. But most people were like next year. And some people were like this year. And some people were never. And the same amount of people as never were ASAP. So that's interesting. I found that interesting. And this poll came about because I was wondering, kind of internally, and it's a thing I'm still considering, if the opportunity arises for me to work at Anime NYC in November, am I going to? Now, turning down work is difficult. I have certainly turned down some work here that was unsafe working conditions, specifically because my folks were not vaccinated, and I was not vaccinated, and my father is high risk. So I was like not looking at stuff that wasn't going to be safe, right? But we're going to get our second vaccinations coming up. And now, I should make this clear, because a few people, they weren't clapping back. They were just saying, hey, here's my reasoning. We're saying it's not necessarily about you being vaccinated, because you can still be a carrier. It's about what the rates are. And that's true. That's very true. So, yeah. Harold's here. Hi, Harold. So, it comes down to, right? Do I think that I'm going to go to Boston in June? Well, first off, I don't think that's happening. I would be very surprised if PAX East 2021 happens. I would be surprised. Now, PAX West 2021 in September, that's a possibility. I don't know. I will say that's the same weekend as Crunchyroll Expo, who have announced that Crunchyroll Expo is going to be a virtual event this year. So no Crunchyroll Expo this year in September. That's not happening. So the idea that the same weekend that Crunchyroll was like, we're not doing it because it's always the same weekend, that the idea that PAX West would happen, I don't necessarily believe that to be true. That doesn't feel like a true to me. It's certainly plausible, but it doesn't feel possible. But I could be wrong. Now so it comes down to do I think Anime NYC, that has announced that it is happening and it'll be in person in the Javits Center in the middle of November? Do I think that if PAX happens, I'll be flabbergasted? Decidedly, I think the most logical one that would happen would be PAX Unplugged in December. I could see PAX Unplugged happening with limited numbers in Philly. I could see that as a possibility. I don't think PAX West is going to happen. I definitely don't think PAX East is going to happen. But I could see in December them doing one. But I also feel like Anime NYC wasn't going to announce dates if they weren't going to do it. Announce dates and that some tickets go on sale tomorrow. So, that makes me wonder. That makes me believe that that's going to happen. So then it comes down to, okay, well, I worked Anime NYC in 2019. Would I go back up? If someone was going to pay me to work that weekend, handle my food and my travel up, would I do it? And right now, I think I would. Now, obviously, it's looking at exposure rates. It's looking at what part of the population has gotten the vaccine. It's what protocols are in place. Because right now, Anime NYC protocols are, we'll have protocols. They have not said what they're going to be doing, if they're going to be limiting day capacity, if they're going to be opening various entrances, if they're going to be putting limits, if the panel rooms are going to have empty seats in between rows and in between, whatever. Like, they haven't said anything. I also don't know if the group that hired me in the past to work for them is going or would have a booth, or if they're going to hire people. I don't know. I don't think if it happened, I would go to the music festival. I go to in October, PAX South in January. I would definitely do. Yeah. So it's looking at various things. Like, I get it. Because I know a few people that are like, if it's not for work, I would never go to another convention like that, or I wouldn't be going in the future. And like, totally understand that and get that. Like I said, a lot of this is like me thinking out loud. I haven't been offered anything, but I'm like, well, we'll see. But then it comes down to it. What if PAX West is like, yeah, we're doing PAX West, like, and somebody offers to sponsor me? Do I go? And I don't think I go to PAX West. I can't see myself going to PAX West in 2021. I just don't, I can't see myself flying across the country and going to an event in Seattle, to work or to attend, to perform at, whatever. Like, I don't see that as a thing that I'm going to do. Good evening, Shax. Welcome. But yeah, I mean, it's a thing that, like, I'm putting consideration into. Like I said, right now it's me talking out loud about these possibilities of, am I going to go? Also, the idea of going to New York, here's a simple thing I'd like to do in New York City. Go to my storage unit. Open up my storage unit. Fill a suitcase that I bring up to New York with shirts that I have here, and swap them for some other shirts. Do a shirt swap. That would be pretty rad. Go through my big bin of electronic adapters and stuff and pull out a couple things I wish I had packed. Nothing major, but things I wish I had packed. Like, that's something that I'm like, ooh, I wouldn't mind doing that. Just having a visual cue, looking at my stuff and going, yes, all of my things are here. Great. These are just things that I'm like, I wouldn't mind doing that. But I don't know. It's a lot of it is up in the air, and I just don't know what I'm going to do about it. It feels like location matters. I'm going to Gen Con. I've gone to Gen Con and PAX West in the past, and I'd much rather go to PAX since it's in my neighborhood. Yeah, I mean, like, that makes sense, right? Yeah. A local convention would be something that I would, like, seriously consider more than I would consider. But yeah, for me, like I said, New York makes sense because there are things in New York that I would like to, like, I have a storage unit in New York, and I would like to visit it. And it doesn't make sense for me to fly to New York just to go to my storage unit. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But if there is a good reason for me to go, like work, that's something. I don't know. I don't quite know. I don't quite know. But it's stuff that I'm like, I'm putting under consideration, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, if it makes sense for me to go, then I'll go. Like, it's hard to turn down work, right? I apply for a lot of things that if I had my druthers, I would not do, but I can't be picky when it comes to wanting to have enough money to, move out of this house at some point into, a city that I would like to live in to continue my life's work and do things. Decidedly just subscribe. Thank you so much, Decidedly. But you subscribe because Shax just gifted a sub. Thank you so much. That's your first gift. Getting my first paycheck for a new job. Here's a gifted. Well, thank you so much. Let's hit the applause. Let's throw the bear cave. Decidedly, welcome. Enjoy your sub, and then when the sub counter on my dashboard goes up, we will increase the number on here, but it has not gone up yet, so we will wait on that. But yes, decidedly enjoy and checks. Thank you so much for that. Thanks for sharing the love. Really appreciate that. And welcome to the gift sub leaderboard. Yes, and also congrats on that first paycheck. That rules. Lashbrook, I want to give you an update. I have some stuff coming via gift card from USA Gundam Store, thanks to Lashbrook. When it arrives, I do not know because they have not fulfilled my order yet. Now I understand things are busy. They pre-orders come in. They're working. They got stuff going on. But I would love it if they would ship my shit that I purchased. Because also, not a peek behind the curtain. If you buy something off my Amazon wish list, I build it ahead of other things. But this kit we're going to finish up today, and the next kit will not take long. So I would have loved to have started on one of the two kits that I purchased thanks to gift cards from Lashbrook on Thursday. And that does not, they're in Florida, so if they ship it tomorrow, it's possible I'll get them on Thursday, but I wouldn't count on it if they didn't ship it today, which apparently they didn't, which I am a little frustrated by. I made a purchase Saturday evening, and I understand maybe that, they're not fulfilling orders on Sunday, perhaps. I don't know. But they have not fulfilled my orders yet, and I am annoyed by that because I want to build those things. So what I'm probably going to do is I've got a couple things in my backlog, but I'm going to build the high grade that's in my backlog next because that won't take too long, and then I can build the lovely items, at least one of the two lovely items purchased by Lashbrook. Thanks, being waiting for this job for a while, and this paycheck will be 4 weeks worth. Oh yeah, sometimes that happens, right? You're just like, you start and you just like, I had a job. It was a good one that I was happy to work on. But I started like the day after payroll ended, so I had to wait for the next payroll, and they paid monthly, and it was just like, oh, I would have loved a little bit of this money now. Shit. Okay. It took a while. That usually takes a couple of days. I think they're only Monday through Friday. Yeah, so I can imagine that if you order something on the weekend, like Monday is spent catching up for their weekend stuff. But I've never really had an issue with them. Like if I'm buying something that's in stock, usually it gets out really quick. And especially I've been buying a lot from USA Gundam Store because I'm in South Carolina, whereas I would often buy from Gundam Planet when I was in New York because that's New Jersey to New York. Like I bought something at like 9 a.m. and they mailed it that day, and I got it the next day. So that was pretty great. That was the fastest I could get something without having to literally go to a store to buy it. Like I've never had anything faster with model kits, but yeah, we're not there. So hopefully they'll get it out to me soon because I want to build those things that were purchased. So Lashbrook purchased a gift card for me, 2 gift cards, I should say, and had an idea of one thing that I should get, and then I had some money left over, so I got another thing. No spoilers on those things until we look at them in the video, but I will say, one of the kits is from a show that I have not built on stream before. It's one of the few Gundam series that I have not built anything from. So I'm very excited about the opportunity to build those. All right. Let's see. Okay, put that there. All right, we're working on our waist here. We got to do that in the side skirts, but that'll be fine. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well out there on the old internet. Model kit stuff. Pretty excited to work on new things. I have something special, an odd planned for the Plamo Weekender. I'm very excited to build that. So we'll get these separated here without damaging anything. All right, these are separated. We'll do the back here. panel lining as we go. But yeah, uh, I hate spring in South Carolina. I'm just gonna say that right now. I have enjoyed most of the seasons. Very mild winter. Where like sometimes at night it dropped to 40 degrees, and I was like, oh no, it's 40 degrees. Oh no. Uh, pff, uh, and the summer was very hot, but we have air conditioning, and I do not mind that. I also was dealing with very hot New York summers, so to suddenly have this, I'm like, whatever, no problem for me. Um, and the fall was very lovely. Spring, not a big fan of. It's warm, don't get me wrong, but the pollen is just a dark or a vibrant green, and it's everywhere. I I went for a walk today and did yard work and took a Claritin and was still like very groggy and felt like butt. Uh, and I have been sniffling. I haven't been sneezing, thankfully, but I'm sniffling a lot. Also, I should say this. One of the things I did have to do was move some bags because we'd collected a bunch of leaves from the winter, uh, and the top layer of bags with all these leaves in it was just covered in pollen, and I was like, "Oh, this is not going to help things. This is bad," and it was bad. Maine weather is terrible. 13 degrees and 55 in the same week. Shax, that's awful. Those jumps are bad. Yeah, that's no good. Oh, we dropped a couple frames there. Sorry about that, everybody. Um, uh, I'm so excited. Personal news: I'm getting my first shot tomorrow. Lashbrook, congratulations. So you're getting either the Pfizer or Moderna. So congratulations on that. Uh, I'm getting that. That rules. My second shot is in April. You're getting Moderna. Cool, cool, cool. First shot seems okay. Second shot can knock you on your feet. Or knock you off your feet, I should say. Knock you on your butt is what I've heard of the second Moderna shot. But everyone's case may vary, or mileage may vary. We have the Pfizer. Now, here's a fun fact. My mother got her second shot a few weeks ago. Good to know she's safe. Yes. So fun fact about South Carolina, or at least I'm going to say this: Walgreens in South Carolina. So they schedule all their stuff 4 weeks after your first shot is your second shot. Their computer does all that. Now you're saying to yourself, well, Pat, but one of those is 3 weeks and one of those is 4 weeks. And you're right. But the scheduling happens because they're never sure which one they're going to get in quantities before you have your first shot, which you're going to get. So that way they don't have to reschedule you. So they just schedule everyone for a month. So, and like, it's totally fine to do that. So I'm like, okay, no problem. And I guess you run a little risk if you can't get your second shot when you're supposed to. But I don't have to worry about that because we're not going to have any problems. But yeah, myself and my mom go in for our second shot in a bit, and then my dad goes the following day, and then all three of us will be vaccinated, and that's going to rule. And our the other couple that are in our bubble have also been vaccinated, and they're getting their second. They've gotten their second shot, so that's really nice. Because now, yeah, there were already people that were, in the bubble, but now everybody's vaccinated, and that rules, and we're very happy about that. Yeah, I'm just figuring all of it out, right? Okay, so we're going to do these here. We'll put this like this. Working on our front skirt and our side skirt. I didn't hit this with black. I can hit this with a little bit of black, this gray. It'll kind of brighten it up a bit. Just adds a little bit of layers to these vents. Zeno. All right, and then we put that there. Yeah, so that is where we're at. Okay, side skirts. We're putting our side skirts on, folks. We are putting our side skirts on. We got our top here. We got our legs. doing all that. I am excited for the next kit we will be working on, the Haro, uh, the Zakrello HARO, Zakrello from the original Mobile Suit Gundam, and then the this is from Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise, if I remember correctly. This version. Uh, it's very funny that my list of here are things I could build coming up. My $10 patrons were like voted. They could have voted. They could have voted for the Penelope, and instead, the majority of them voted that I build this. And I'm like, at first I was like, really, really, this wins? Like a Haro wins? But it is a Haro ball with knives for hands, so I get it. Like I get why that happened, but I was still surprised about it. I was still like, huh, you know, one of the biggest high grades ever, a massive kit. It's a whole Gundam with a giant flight system that looks like it's got a big chicken on top of it. And people were like, yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, that's fun and all, but like, what if instead you built this little kit that you got for $11? It's like, I get it. I mean, I get it. Let's see. Talked about some stuff there. Yeah. I got an interview for something tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not. I'm. I'm kind of like pessimistic about it. It seems like a weird fit. I don't know, but hey, whatever. It's something. I can do it from home, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Um, Wednesday. Wednesday is anime day for your friend Pat. I am recording a podcast. I'm a guest on an anime podcast. I'm very excited about that. When that comes out, I will of course promote it, but no details to give as at this moment. But that is something that I'm excited that I'm participating in, and of course we'll promote it when it comes out. And then my bonus stream this Wednesday is that I am going to be doing a Pat Bear's Anime Club a live episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club, where I will be doing my Winter 2021 kind of wrap up, and my Spring 2021 preview. So if people are looking for some recommendations of the shows that are coming up, we'll talk about the shows that are coming out. I'll talk about the shows I really liked, the shows I didn't like, the shows I gave up on. I've been trying to go through my backlog now. Like yesterday and today, some shows wrapped up. A few shows will be wrapping up this week. I'm kind of doing this wrap up. Good luck in the interview. Well, thank you, Ristafan. I appreciate that. I'm kind of wrapping up this season a little early because a lot of stuff that I liked started late. Like Non Biori doesn't end till this weekend. But also, the next season of anime starts like on April 1st, and that is very soon. So I wanted to get that Pat Bear's Anime Club up before the new season started. It just happened to work out. The timing this season, the timing is very short. Usually there's like a week where there's only a couple things out. This season there's like very few things because some stuff started late, but most stuff started right on time. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I think the winter season didn't do particularly well for anime. I mean, there are a few big hitters. There are a few shows that did incredibly well this season. But also, those shows are not shows that I watch. So that was kind of a weird thing. Just be like, yeah, I'm glad people people seem to very much enjoy this season of Attack on Titan. Uh, as it's the final season, good for them. Although there's probably going to be more stuff, I assume. Even though it's the final season, I assume there will be some more Attack on Titan shit because it's incredibly popular. It's popular enough that it just like breaks Crunchyroll and Funimation when episodes come out. Not every week, but most weeks it just like broke the websites because so many people wanted to watch it like as soon as it was available. But that's like, all right, fun, cool. But yeah, there were a few pretty big heavy hitters. I believe this season of Dr. Stone, people were really into. Um, I know from my small group of people that I talk to about anime regularly, people were down on that time I got reincarnated as slime, and I think that's because the people I know liked it because the first season was different than traditional isekai, and didn't really like the direction it went of being more like a regular old isekai, which I understand and I get. Luckily, next season there will be a few shows that kind of fit that, including Slime Diaries, which is just the chill version. These are our beam sabers. We're just going to put them onto the side. I do like a beam saber you can find on the side. Having a grunt mobile suit that has a beam saber is a pretty fun look. And also, they kind of look like weapons on the side, like guns, and that is misleading in a way that I appreciate. But we are about to be body complete on this, with the exception of the flight unit, the backpack that looks like it is just parts of a jet shoved onto a mobile suit, which I guess in some ways it is that. All right, so we'll put these on like this. I do like how maneuverable these side skirts are, because you actually instruct to put them on before you put the legs on. Often when you're doing a kit, especially in the high grade variety, um, you got to put the legs on first, and then hope that when you're putting the side skirts on, you're not causing any trouble. They're not going to fall off. So it's kind of neat that these were just like, oh yeah, you put these on first. Do that. All right. And okay. Great. And now we are body complete. This is a great looking kit. I love the colors, especially love the teal and the blue. I think they're just really nice complementary colors. We are going to put the backpack on, and unfortunately the backpack does involve quite a few stickers. Most of the sticker sheet is going to be on the backpack, so we will of course do that as we get to it. But at the very least we can put a good portion of the backpack on before we have to put on big annoying stickers. So we will complete this kit fully, including putting all the stickers on, or this part of the kit, and then we will do panel lining. I'm not going to do it as I go because there are just going to be so many stickers involved. Um, I'll talk a little bit about these God Hands. If you missed the stream on Saturday, I got myself a new pair of snipper clips. These are the God Hand single blade. These are not the most high-priced nonsense versions of them of the God Hand snippers. This is the single blade variety, which I really like. I always wanted to use. So instead of squeezing together, you are cutting through the pieces. It does involve doing a second cut, and I'll show that in a moment, what that means, what that entails. But I think the precision is really great, and I haven't seen any bruising or discoloration using these cuts. I got these. I also got these because they're less fragile. The snipper, those clips. A lot of people who buy the very expensive God Hands end up using regular cutters to remove the piece, and then use these to like get the nubbins off. And switching between two pairs of clippers didn't sound like something I was going to be doing. So, a normal clipper, I would take the end here, the closest end, and I would just hit it right up against there, trying to make one cut like that. Instead, I'm going to take these facing the other way and snip away from the kit, or the piece that I'm pulling out, removing it, leaving little nubbins, and then I will go on a perpendicular and just snip off there as close as possible. So you end up with a little bit of nubbins, but you shouldn't have much discoloration. There's still going to be some, that's still going to happen. There'll still be some discoloration, but there won't be as much of the plastic. The single blade is going to leave that more than cutters, but it's still a very precise, and also these just feel so good in the hand. So yeah, it takes a little bit longer, but it doesn't take that much longer really. And you can also because you're pulling away from it, you can also just pull it from the plastic in one spot if you want. And then we'll just hit these like this. Whew. Excellente. Now we put these on here. Got the air intakes here on our jet propulsion. And then this is going to go into A22. All right. And get that out. Let's see. Other things I want to talk to you about. I don't know. Folks, I don't know. I got stuff going on. Not a lot, but I got a little bit. Yeah, like I said, I'm doing a podcast recording. I was supposed to be doing another podcast recording this month, but I have heard zero information about said podcast recording. So, I don't know if it's happening. I am planning on throwing hey, I haven't heard from you. Let me know what's going on. I would like to get my schedule put together because it was a thing that because it's one of those things where like, I'm thrilled this person asked me to be on this podcast. Like, I'm very excited about it. And also, they are doing me a huge favor by inviting me to be on it. Because this thing that was asked that I'm waiting to hear more about, has a huge reach of people. So I'm like, I very much want to do it. But I don't want to be pushy. But I also want to fucking know when this is happening. And I don't think that's unreasonable. Or just like, I would like an update. I would like this person that invited me to do this thing to be like, hey, we're now thinking it will be April. Like, just tell me it'll be April. Like, that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but like, tell me it'll be April. All right, so now we got to put some stickers on here, which is sticker 7s. Go on this piece. Make sure this is right. Okay, yep. So sticker 7 on here. And you may be able to see that these are large-ass stickers that we're putting on here. So we're just going here. And then we will apply this sticker. And, of course, these are ones that have to bend as they go around. And nobody really likes that. I mean, I don't. Stickers that... Like, I understand. This is a high grade. So I get that. When it's a high grade, I get that. Like, this piece, having this cap be gray, I understand why it's not. I understand that. But it is a sticker that has to go around, and I just don't like the look of those. And I don't think it turned out great. I did not watch WWE Fastlane last night, so I can tell you I know the results of Fastlane, but I did not watch Fastlane, so I cannot comment on the moment-to-momentness. I will say, I also did not watch Raw tonight, but the thing I would love to know is Retribution over, or is Ali just not in Retribution anymore? Because one of those things is great for everyone, and one of those things is only great for Mustafa Ali. So I'm hopeful that it is just done, and they just go their separate ways, and maybe some of them go back to NXT as if they never left, or some of them show up on Raw or SmackDown as themselves, and they just never pretend. They just pretend like they weren't T-Bar. And it's just like, no, I'm just a wrestler. Hey, what's up? I'm a wrestler. I was not masked for a good while in a weird Antifa thing that never worked, and it didn't work at all. And the idea was kind of cool, but was never going to be cool. Hey, Lord Crashes in, welcome, welcome. Was never going to be done right. And then Ali can just, like, be a very good wrestler that isn't getting enough attention in the world of WWE. All right, so connect this, but then it looks like, how do these connect? Okay. All right. Just getting our wings on here. I considered watching Fastlane last night since it was a Peacock, but couldn't find the motivation. And with Hogan co-hosting Mania, I'm out for that too. Yes, I am also out for WrestleMania. Uh, Bobby says I didn't care for Retribution, but I gotta say, giving someone a gimmick named Slapjack was pretty dang funny. Yeah, Slapjack. I can't believe that they were like, your name is Slapjack. It's just like, yikes. Fucking yikes. Although I will say, T-Bar, his Twitter account, he said, and I very much appreciated and enjoyed what he said, which was, the TNT bar stands for trans rights. And that was just a nice thing. And I was like, oh no, I have to like Retribution now. Those are the rules. And those are the rules. If it's something that I'm like, meh, and then they're like very much supportive of the things that I also support and are vocal about it, then I'm like, all right, sure, okay. It doesn't work if you're garbage, but if you're not garbage and you're just fine and you also support things, then cool. All right, I guess I like. All right, fine. I'm a T-Bar fan. Sure. Um, um, just put Mia Yim and I mean they've already done it. They did it in NXT a bit. Just she doesn't need the gimmick. She's gonna make them a lot of money. Just let her be her. You know, if you want to put her with um uh Keith Lee, sure. Put her with Keith Lee. You don't have to, but sure if you want to do that. But like she's gonna make him money. She's definitely gonna make him money. I don't need to do this. Retribution wasn't gonna make anybody a dime. Awful. Awful gimmick. And then also, yes, as said by Harold, I don't think this is like, so there was a lot of speculation. Hulk Hogan is going to be co-hosting WrestleMania along with Titus O'Neil so that he can say, here's me with my black friend. I have a black friend. Everything is okay. And this isn't the first time the WWE has welcomed him back. Good night. I'll catch you later. Harold, you have a good night. I will catch you later. Thanks for being here. But this is not the first time the WWE is like, hey, well, we bring back the legend and it's Hulk Hogan, so we're like everybody's cool with that, right? And it's like, no, no, we're not. I'm actually gonna do black instead of. I think I'm gonna do black on this instead of the gray. I think black is gonna pop way better, so we'll hit this with black. But yeah, it's a fucking bummer. Also, don't know why it happened. Dave Bautista not going into the Hall of Fame. He was supposed to go in the 2020 class. Of course, that didn't happen. And then this year they were going to do the 2020 and the 2021. Now he's not listed. Don't know why. Is it that he was like, I don't want this with Hulk Hogan there? I don't think that's the reason. I don't think that's why that's happening. But I'd like to think that's part of it. But it's probably just he wants to be there for a large crowd. Who knows? But yeah. Hulk Hogan sucks. It's a terrible precedence throughout the world. In many things. Just a shitty dude all around. Just garbage. Garbage, garbage, garbage from the top to the bottom. Just a garbage person that I got no time to deal with. But, whatever. Co-hosting WrestleMania. Wasn't super looking forward to this WrestleMania anyway. That is even more the reason not to watch it. I'll probably watch some of the indie stuff that is going to happen around it. And that'll be good. There'll be some good indie stuff that I am super into. And hopefully those folks will be safe and will be able to make some money. Because many of them have not been able to make money this year for, last year for obvious reasons. As a kid in the 90s, Hulk has been a major letdown. I mean, Air, first off, hi Air, welcome. And secondly, yeah, it's just the whole, it's like, it's a lot, and you're not wrong. But it is a rough thing. Okay, now it's time to hit this with the eraser and clean up some of this marks. We did a little bit of panel lining on this. I mean, we won't really see it because it's the backpack. Oh, there's a little bit I didn't do here. But I still like panel lining, getting used to it. I still think that it's rewarding to look at a thing and go like, well, what if I hit it with this marker? And then suddenly parts of it pop and just really shine. So I'm happy to do it now and again. Even if it's on a part that you won't see too much, because I don't put them on stands and rotate them 360 degrees. I want to play D&D again, man. Or DM basically, our DM basically stopped playing. Ugh. Shax, that's really rough. I'm sorry. Yeah, when your DM is done, that's really it's hard to recover from. It's very hard to recover from. Well, our DM doesn't do it anymore. Like that's just very difficult to bounce back from. All right, so this, yeah, okay. Now we are going to put on the wings, and the wings, unfortunately, have a lot of stickers to put on. So let's do some stickers. We will take in about 10 minutes or so. Pause for the cause. Can you hire DMs? I feel like yes. I feel like there are probably people who do that. I do not have any resources for you on that. But I'm sure that there are people that would certainly, there are DMs out there that would certainly jump to the chance of being work for hire. The good news for me is that I'm qualified for the latest phase of vaccines, but nobody has any appointments that I've been able to find. I'm very sorry to hear that, Lord Crashington. I know you're doing all the work. I know there are bots you can follow on Twitter and Facebook if you put in your major city or your state bot or vaccine bot. And Twitter, you can like set notifications for that one account so that you will get tweets like texted to you when they update. That has worked for a lot of people I know who are eligible. Um, uh, and good luck in the process. Hey, John Robert, happy to have you here, friend. Welcome. Hello, hello. DM was for hire was a big thing even pre-pandemic. It's only gotten bigger lately, as you can imagine. Yeah, I'm guessing there are groups online that do sessions with randos, but I don't have any ideas of where. Yeah, I mean, like again, this is a weird thing to recommend, but it's the exact same thing I just recommended to Lord Crashington, which is uh, if you search for your region or your state D&D, you might be able to find that. Uh, I've signed up for notifications in a few places where they have appointments, but every other place I've seen is out of supply appointments. Well, Lord Crashington, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully, you will start. They will start trickling in, and you'll start to be able to make uh, appointments because obviously we want to get you those vaccines. We want to get you vaccinated. Uh, okay, so this goes on like this. This goes on like this because this backpack attaches like this, and then it can flip down and it can go on the back. So with there. But yeah, good luck, and I will be sending you some positive energy that you get these appointments. Um, well, yeah, I will say, I got I was eligible on Monday, and I got my appointment, my dad's appointment on Tuesday, and I got my mom's appointment shortly after I got mine. Um, uh, but yeah, my second one is the 8th of April, so it's coming up. Uh, oh, uh, Kitsune, Kitsune Ninjaku, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. I didn't notice it. Thank you very much for following. And welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. Um, John Roberts says, me and Crystal got our first shot this Saturday. Get our first shot this Saturday. Hell yeah, congratulations. Get that shot. That's awesome. Very glad to hear that, my friend. That rules. I know some resources for non-D&D online. For D&D, the only thing I really know of is finding a pickup game on Roll20, which is a bit of a crapshoot. Yes, I have heard the pickup games can be a little, uh, a little hit or miss. All right, so we got to put stickers on here. Look how this is. So this is a thing, right? Like this obviously sucks. This is a thing about it being a high grade, and some of these parts are off other high grades and all that. This is a unique thing because it's the backpack, but like this sticker is huge and is gonna like go on here and then fold over, and it's just a whole lot of sticker. It's just a whole big sticker that has to go on, and it's not great. This is not great, and it's got to go and bend over this side over here, and yeah, it didn't work out perfect, and that's okay. It's not perfect, but it's fine. It's the backpack. I'm not too worried about it. I'll hit some panel lines on there. It'll look just fine. We'll get the other sticker we got to put on here as well, which is 8, which is this mustard sticker here. But yeah, congratulations to the folks getting it. Good luck to everybody out there trying to get this done. Yeah, I know. Mine was pretty easy. I heard that Walgreens in our area had gotten more appointments. They got more vaccines coming allocated to them, and so I just went on the website and just tried to sign up as fast as I could, and then I could only get 2 done. So I was just checking all that day. I was just checking like every half hour. I would go on and see. Logged in on my mom's Walgreens account, and then eventually it pinged, and there was a cancellation, which is great. So I was able to get her an appointment because of that. So, but I know it's different for different people. Some people have used phone numbers that they've called to be on registries. Other people have been like on wait lists for some things. Some folks were told they weren't eligible on some things, and they were eligible other places. For me, hospitals were not necessarily interested in helping people in Phase 1B, which is where we are here in South Carolina. But pharmacies are totally fine with helping patients, people that qualify that are in that bracket like I am. So I was able to still get an appointment. Whereas if I had tried to go through a hospital, it might have been more of a hassle. Uh, but yeah, I think it's been hard for some people, easy for other people, but I'm mostly just very happy. Like the only people I think I'm at all jealous of these days are folks that got the Johnson & Johnson that are done, because being done instead of waiting is better, but still, it's like, okay, I'll get it, whatever. I have bad side effects. I have bad side effects. I don't care about that part. Just want to get this in. Let's panel line this before we put it on. I think that'll be better to do. So we're just going to hit these lines here. We will take a pause for the cause in a minute or two once we kind of get this backpack together. We got some weapons to put on this. We got a couple weapons to build. So we're not fully done with this kit, but we are getting close to finishing this up. And then we can start the next one. And do that. And I'm going to talk about anime in the second hour. Hooray! Got 2 shows that ended up. One that was an 11-episode series. One that was 12 episodes. We'll talk about those 2. Talk briefly about a show that I was thinking, like, hey, am I going to catch up on this? I watched a couple episodes, especially because I like to have stuff to talk about, like, next week. But I decided I did not. I don't think I'm going to finish it. I might. I might go back to it. I don't know. I might finish up World Trigger. I don't know. Season 2 of World Trigger. But we'll see. I was trying to watch all of Season 1, which it's funny to call that show Season 1 because it was like an ongoing. It was more like a Boruto or Black Clover or One Piece where it was like every week. but that show just became a slog. So I was like, let me start season 2. I keep hearing really good things about season 2 and the artwork and all that. So I was like, all right, maybe I'll check this out. Also, I thought might try Log Horizon. Log Horizon has been described to me as a good version of Sword Art Online. And I was like, oh, I wouldn't mind watching a good version of that. And the first season's pretty interesting. And then I fell off the second season, and the third season is happening now. And I was like, well, I don't know if I want to keep watching the second season. And I also don't know if I want to, like, jump to the third season. So I might just be done with this show, which I'm fine with. Sometimes you're like, oh, I just don't want to do this anymore. And I think that's reasonable. I think that's totally reasonable to be like, you know what? I don't have to watch this. All right, let's see. Let's take a pause for the cause. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. If you'd like, you're under no obligation to do any of these things before I even get into my ad reads, and we'll get back to building when those are done. Again, I am taking part of the in the Plastic Model Weekender. At twitch.tv/Plamo Weekender. I will be going up on Friday, April 16th. More details on that coming soon. I think eventually they're going to promote that I am taking part of it, which will be great. Yeah, I'm going to be taking part in that. I'll be working on a kit specifically for that event, so whatever I'm working on, I will pause so that I can focus on the kit I'm building for that event, because I'll be on that stream. I will be hosting it on this channel. If you'd rather watch with like-minded folks and chat there, I won't be looking at that chat. I will only be looking at Plamo Weekender chat. So, sorry. But this is going to be a really fun event, so I hope you come and check that out. It's all model kit builders, lots of gunpla builders, but people that work on other things as well. I've seen the list of what people are working on, and it's a very cool list of stuff that I'm also interested in checking out. And it benefits the Cure Alzheimer's Fund. And so that just fucking rules. And I think that is a cool event that I'll be taking part in next month. But now, what's up with right now? Well, if you're currently a subscriber to the channel, the Twitch channel, let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. Let the people know that you're a subscriber. Subscribing is probably the easiest way to support what I do. You're under no obligation to do so, obviously, but if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to. We are at 47 out of 50 subscribers. I would like to hit 50. That is the goal that I always like to be at. No obligation to do that, but if you want to gift a sub, we at Shax gifted a sub today, which is great. Wrist Fan gifted subs earlier in the month. That's awesome. Would like to get to 50. If we're not at 50, that's okay, but that is always the goal number. Now, if you're like, also you can use your Twitch Prime token. I always want to say that. If you're not using it for me, make sure you're using it for somebody, because if you're paying Amazon a yearly fee or a monthly fee, you should also make sure that you are, sending some money to a streamer by using that Prime token. Now, if you're like, Pat, I would like to support you, but $5 a month is too steep for my blood. Well, we have an option, which is called Patreon. That's right, patreon.com/PatBear. If you're watching this video later on YouTube on the archive, what's up, YouTube? Thank you for watching. And also, check out these links in the show description of this video. So, my Patreon has a $1 tier, a $3 tier, a $5 tier, and a $10 tier. So different tiers that you can join at any time that you would like. It is another way to benefit me financially so that I can keep doing these streams. Now, if you were like, well, I don't want to do either of those things, but like, I don't know, do you have a way for me to subscribe to your YouTube that costs money? Yes, you can join. That's right. I have memberships on YouTube. We have one member right now, and it rules. Tomorrow, that member will get a video a day early, because that is what you get for $2 a month on YouTube. YouTube.com/PatBear. Subscribe for free. Join if you'd like. Now, everything I make through YouTube and Twitch and Patreon goes to buying model kits and equipment. It all goes back into the business of doing this. There's also direct donations, which you could do if you were so inclined. Direct donations are another great way to go into a fund, and I take money out of that, and then I buy model kits to build. We are going to get back to building in a moment or two. I just want to go through this pretty quickly. Well, Bobby Dice Roller, I can now turn this off because Bobby Dice Roller just gifted 5 subs to the community. Thank you so much. And welcome to Words Maybe and TDA Penguin and Akito and 2AI and Dogma. Welcome, welcome, everybody. I'm going to hit applause there. Thank you so much, Bobby, for gifting 5 subs. That is 52 total to the channel in lifetime. That is so, so awesome of you. Thank you so much for that. And welcome to everybody who is now a subscriber. To the channel, you're now a Twitch sub. Welcome. Yeah, so when we go back to building, I'll take off the thing that pops up because now we're over 50 again. Hell yeah. Gifting subs, bits and coins, also a great way to support what I do. So welcome everybody. If you were like, Pat, I see that you buy stuff and then you build it. What if I bought something for you to build? Well, we can do that. But Shaq says, Bobby had to take my second place. Shaq, you're still in the top 3. You're still on the leaderboard, buddy. But yeah, I had to jump up in there. I have an Amazon wish list. My Amazon wish list I update pretty consistently, I should say. I got Lego sets. I've got nano blocks. I've got entry grade model kits, high grades, master grades. I'm going to take a kit off of my wish list because it says we don't know when or if this item will be back in stock. So I'm going to take that out. But yeah, high grades, master grades, all kinds of things that I would like to build on stream and you could purchase on stream. And then I'll shoot a video about the thing you bought and how psyched I am to build the thing that you bought me. And kind of be like, hey, check this thing out. This was purchased off my Amazon wish list, and now I'm going to build it. There's a couple pieces of gear at the bottom just to have a few other options. Oh, yes. Also, howdy, Words Baby. Welcome. Enjoy your gifted sub. Yeah, enjoy your emotes and not seeing ads when you click to watch the stream. Alternatively to my Amazon wishlist, I say, is USA Gundam Store. Now, we just had this literally on Saturday. Lashbrook bought a couple gift cards to USA Gundam Store and then sent me a DM on Twitter with those gift card codes because they send you to your email. And then I was able to buy 2 model kits that I'm very excited to work on. And as I said, one of those kits is from a show that I have not built anything from yet. It's one of the few Gundam series I haven't built a single kit from. I think there's only, once we do that one, there'll only be one more. And that doesn't count the SD shows because some of those never had model kits, or they did, or whatever. But almost every Gundam show, or even manga these days, or art book, ends up with a model kit from it. But there are still a few that don't. So USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card, and I'll shoot a video just like you would if you bought it on my wish list, and it'll jump the queue, because that's the other thing. I've got stuff. I got that Penelope. Well, we're not going to build that Penelope because I got to build stuff that other people sent me, and I'm grateful for it. Now, if you were like a free way to support what I do, you could join my Discord. It's free. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. It's a great little community. Feel free to join that. I would love to have you there. You're more than welcome to join. All right, couple of videos. Pat Bear's Anime Club is every other Monday I put out a new video to Pat Bear's Anime Club. If you haven't watched the latest Pat Bear's Anime Club, I talk about some anime that I would like to see more of, another season of perhaps. Now, is this anime I should just watch more, read the manga? Sure, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about wanting it to exist in a visual medium that I can enjoy in video format. So I talked about those, and then Bear With Me. There's a prop master out in Los Angeles who makes TikToks and then uploaded some of those TikToks to YouTube. And I watched this prop person talk about fake duct tape for filming, and it made me nostalgic for my time working on stuff like that. I got another video coming out tomorrow for my $5 and $10 patrons and my $2 YouTube members for my next Bear With Me, and that's going to be pretty good. I think you're going to like this next one. I did. It's a short and a sweet one. All right, so I'm going to talk about some anime that I watched. We're going to get back to building, finish up this kit. I'm actually going to hit the Be Right Back screen, and I am going to blow my nose and I'm gonna mute my mic when I do it, and we'll be back in just a second. So while I'm doing that, look at this "Be Right Back" screen, and then I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Apologies for that. The delay there. Back to this. Turn this off because we don't need that because we are over 50. Gonna take a drink of water, and then we'll get back to building. All right. And hitting the anime button there so that I can talk about anime. So I got 3 series to talk about, and I will, of course, kind of go through them here. As I said, we had 2 shows that ended. Now, Jobless Reincarnation is not technically over. It was the 11th episode of the first half of the first season, and they're taking a 1 season break, and then the second half will be back. And I believe that will be 12 episodes. And I am not against this. I think that is totally fine to break it up. It's kind of odd that it did like all this setup and then started dealing with the major plot event, which is uh, our main guy Rudy and Eris, the girl that he has been tutoring, uh, get transported in this big magic teleportation thing. They get sent to uh, the demon continent, and they have to try to get back to uh, their human continent, where they most of them live, uh, and they are dealing with that. And they are being helped by somebody who is of a race that is a demon race that was tricked and is hated by many of the other races, even other demons. Um, the major thing of this episode was, hey, this is a weird thing to say. Rudy didn't suck shit in this episode. Um, there was only one thing where he was a creepy pervert, and that was in the like, here's what's happening at the end of the episode, or like, here's over the closing theme, basically. And he was just like a little pervy because he has to be pervy at some point. He can't not be not pervy. He still has to have moments of just being awful. Um, okay, so it looks like Roxy, who is the best character in the show, she wasn't teleported anywhere. She left a letter for Rudy and some former party members asking to help find Rudy's mother and the maid and one of the kids. And I believe that is I think the son. They disappeared in the teleportation problems. So he's like, "Hey, please find them." Um, let's see, because Paul basically is like, "Rudy, I think you'll make it home, but I'm worried about the rest of my family." And like that's fair. He's like is probably gonna figure it out. He is the main character of the story, even if obviously Paul doesn't know that. Um, so we hear the letter is read as footage of Rudy, Eris, and Ruijerd completing tasks, earning money. There's still some tension between Rudy and Ruijerd. And then you might remember the characters who were introduced in the last episode who were plucky would-be adventurers who were going to be in over their heads. Uh, you remember those characters that were introduced just so that one of them or all of them could die and our characters could grow? And it was very obvious that that's what they were doing there. Yeah, one of them fucking got killed. It happened. It still sucks. They were introduced to the story just so something like this could happen, and it was very obvious because they only showed up in a previous episode. But that doesn't mean it doesn't suck that it happened. Uh, so yeah, so that was like fine. I was like, meh, not thrilled about that. Um, all right, so we got our wings have options here. I'll say that. Um, so because you can have our wing thing like this, and you could have it like that, and you could have it uh, this, like that. But I like having it. I don't know. I think I like having it like this because that just looks ridiculous. It's just like a jet engine is coming out of the back of it, and I very much enjoy that. So I think we'll pose it like that. All right, well, let's get the weapons and the shield done. There's not much to these weapons, and the stickers that are left are just the stickers that go on the shield. Where is the instructions on that? What? That's weird. The shield does. They skipped the oh no, they're just there. Okay, I was like, that's weird. There are two stickers that I don't know where they go. I missed two stickers somewhere. Oh yes, okay. So I'm not done with the backpack. I messed up. I missed these two pieces, which also have stickers on it. So sorry. Roll that back. I screwed up. This isn't actually done. This part of the kit is not done. I got to put these on there, and they have stickers. So I was like, there seems to be more stickers. What's going on? And then we'll finish this up. So yeah, Roxy is joining two of Paul's old party members in search of Rudy's family. So that means Roxy's still going to be involved, which is great. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where this show goes and where it takes us. I don't know. Don't really know. But I'll watch more of it. Like I think putting him in danger legitimately makes me like this character more than I did before, which it shouldn't require this kind of that, but it like forced him to be more of a present, better character. Or at least like he's got to work hard because he is now in charge of the safety of someone and his own survival, and then also maybe he can help the guy that's helping them, fix his the reputation of his people. But I don't know. It's a whole thing. Suppose a Kid. Hey, watch the first episode of Suppose a Kid, and if you like it, just get the manga. That's all I can say. I think this premise is really fun, and it's definitely ruined by the anime. This is a bad representation of what I think is a very fun premise. You know how my big complaint, folks that watch a lot of this, and also, hey, thanks if you watch a lot of these shows, a lot of my streams, you may remember that my big issue with Suppose a Kid was that that everything moved really fast. That in 4 episodes they did like the first arc of the show, which should have been more than 4 episodes. That it was really fast paced. That a major villain in the show was introduced in episode 10. She was in the opening animation for all of the show, and she didn't show up until episode 10, and then we were like, oh no, this character we barely know turned on them and is now working with the villains. And it was like, well, of course. Why would I think that she was a good character? She was just introduced. What are we doing here? No time was spent on this character for me to be like shocked and betrayed. This episode, they were like, how do I say this? They pulled the next time gadget. If you've ever watched the cartoon Inspector Gadget or cartoons of that era, weekly shows where there's one major villain, the hero can't defeat the villain ever, right? The villain has to get away and to crime again another day. And this show did that. The 3 villains, two of whom have different ideas of what they want to do with the world, the series, because I can't imagine they're going to get a second season. Maybe they will. Maybe it was very popular and people are clamoring for it. The series ends with, I'll get you next time. Well, you foiled us this time, but we'll get you again. Because Yug, the dwarf woman who we barely know, she wants to reset the world because she's bored with it. We found out that the evil guy, he is an artificial human created by Alka to be the world hero because there was a time of crisis and he was created. He's literally the hero that in Fable that Lloyd wants to be like, that he read about. Well, he's still lives, and he hates that. So he's figured out that if the world is in crisis and he's the ultimate villain, then a new hero will be born to defeat him, and then he can finally die. And the person he's chosen is Lloyd. He wants Lloyd to become the great hero that will eventually defeat him. And so, who is bored with everything, or Soma, who could be the hero to defeat him, isn't going to be the hero. He wants to create a world that is exciting for Lloyd. His bullshit justification for all of this is, well, I want to create this kind of nonsense world full of adventure, and to do that, we need to have monsters and mayhem so that Lloyd can feel accomplished. So that is his justification for all of the stuff that happened in the show. His nonsense justification is, Lloyd will like it better if it's like this. So none of it is good motivation, and it's all nonsense. And there is nothing was resolved. I mean, stuff happened. It was cool to see a monster get the better of Lloyd for a bit. He was actually overpowered and needed some help, and that was kind of cool because he is an overpowered main character. So that was kind of neat that he needed backup. Meretofan, the guy who was manipulated and turned on them, he came back to help out, and that was kind of neat in his own weird way. Hey, here's the thing I can talk about that's nice, that I can say a nice thing about. Remember how I was very mad that there was a queer character in the show that was manipulated into being a villain, thus making her a tragic queer character, which is just terrible, just awful and unnecessary and shouldn't have been in the show? Well, she was defeated and turned back into a human. Now, I don't want to talk about how she was defeated because it's depressing. It was not addressed, her creepy stalker-like behavior, and the fact that her anger towards Lloyd has nothing to do with anything. And it's nonsense. We didn't get into that. But she didn't die. She's not a tragic queer villain. She's a misunderstood queer villain. And that's progress / better / not as bad. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, she didn't get murdered. And that's nice. I didn't think the show was going to do that, but I wouldn't put it past them. So that's Suppose a Kid. Again, watch the first episode of Suppose a Kid from the Last Dungeon Boonies Move to a Starter Town to see if that's a show that appeals to you. And if you liked it, I would say try to track down the manga, because I don't think the anime does a good job of the story. Now, I have not read, I cannot claim to have read it, so I cannot tell you that the anything about the anime or the manga. But from what I understand, the pacing of the show that I did not enjoy is the anime's decision, not the manga. So there we go. And then World Trigger Season 2. World Trigger is a show that... Okay, so here's the thing that happened to World Trigger. They wanted to do a weekly show, right? It didn't look great. The animation wasn't that great. The storytelling was very padded because of health issues of the mangaka. It also probably started too soon. There wasn't enough manga. And then the manga went on hiatus because of health concerns. So then the show just kind of ended. After like 60-something episodes. And then nothing happened with it. Until now, where it's back, and they did it. They're doing a season that is wrapping up now, and it's pretty good. I would say it is surprisingly good. It's a good adaptation. It's paced better than the previous season, uh, and the characters are, I think, stronger for it. My biggest problem with the show can't be fixed by better animation or more time given, or the fact that it is now a seasonal show instead of because I guess there's more coming. It's now a seasonal show instead of an ongoing. None of those things fix my big problems with World Trigger, and why after 6 episodes I don't know if I'll continue. Which is, here are the things that happen in World Trigger. Um, World Trigger is a show about these aliens from another dimension. They're called neighbors that keep invading Earth. So in order to fight them, and invaders are generally humanoid-looking people that control a bunch of monsters that have a different types and looks to them. In order to fight them, there's the Neighborhood Defense Force, or the Neighbor Defense Force, and it is a school, and people go and study there to train to use these suits that basically give them it's somehow like they're controlling themselves, but they're controlling a version of themselves to fight. It's a whole thing. Anyway, most of the show is one of two things happen. Three things. There are three things in World Trigger. There are fighting aliens and monsters. Then there is training to get better at fighting aliens and monsters. And then there's this long, elaborate system to get out of the school by winning competitions against your fellow students, which is another way of training, but is just, more like shonen arc. The problem that I find with World Trigger, and the reason why I don't think I'm going to continue it and finish it up, is the show is mostly fights among the students. The fighting aliens is like the least amount of the show. It's like basically it's just like most of it is fighting amongst each other, and then some of it is training outside of fighting amongst each other, and then some of it is fighting the alien invasion. And I think that's a real bummer, and it's not, that part isn't fun. I don't like the part where they just oh, how did this team of characters I don't care about face against this team of characters I don't care about? Oh, and is the team of characters I do care about, are they going to do well in this tournament? No? Okay. They didn't? Great. So, I'm kind of don't think I'm going to continue with it. I love that it's back. I love that it's getting a second shot because I think it is an interesting show. But I, for the most part, am just meh about World Trigger Season 2. So yeah. But yeah, I'm glad for diehard fans of the manga and people that really like the anime. I'm glad they get more of it. I'm glad they're getting a cool version of it with the art and everything just looking so much better, and the animation just flowing so much stronger. Ooh, this is really wobbly on the arm. This arm. If I was going to display this, I would put some tack on here. But since I'm not going to display this kit, I will just point the gun down. Alright, I got to take a photo of this in its glory, and then we'll move on to our next kit. But let me get some photos of this, and then we'll move on. Alright. Take a photo here. The Windam. I recommend the Windam. If you're looking for a mobile suit that isn't a Gundam but definitely looks like a Gundam, cool high grade with a cool gimmick, which is the wings, I highly recommend this kit. I think it is a fun build. I enjoyed it. I think the stickers are annoying, especially all of the stickers on the jet part. Also, when you're bending this down, you got to hold the top of it, otherwise the mobile suit wants to come apart, and that's not great. But yeah, I think that was still a fun build, and I think it looks cool. So that's the Windam, and now we're moving on to our next kit. This is the Zakrello high grade, or sorry, Haro. This is Haropla. Very excited to work on this kit. It should be a short build. We do have some connectors, plastic connectors here. We do have some stickers. Our blades, unfortunately, are stickers. Our guns are thankfully stickers because these would have been very hard to panel line, all these dots. And then the tattoos are stickers as well, and that's fine. These hopefully will look good because they are not fold over, they are like bend around. So hopefully I can do a good job with that. I will take my sweet time with it. And of course we will panel line it to make it look extra beautiful. But yeah, we're moving over on that to this kit. And we will be using our snippers here to get this together. I haven't done a bear in a while because I haven't been to a con in a while. Because I've only bought one bear. I bought the sign guy one. I'd like to get another one of these, the Haro bears again. I'll keep my eyes peeled on those. See if they ever show up anywhere. Wouldn't mind doing that. But yes, we will panel line this. What are our colors here? So we'll go into this and properties this out. So we'll just clean this up real quick. We're going to do yellow is going to be black. And then we'll do our other colors that we're going to see on here. Our red is also going to be brown, and our brown will be black. Okay. And those are the colors we're going to work with. And then I just have to move this. It's right there. Hooray! Hooray! We did it. Put that back there. I don't have other anime to talk about. I would love to hear from you again. Let's do it again. Let's talk about this because it's very important that we find things to watch on the internet because there's just so many hours in the day. So what are you watching right now? What are you watching on YouTube? What are you watching on TV? If you're watching that, let me know. I would love to hear from you about what you're engaging with on the internet, so that I can also maybe engage with it. But yeah, let me know what are y'all watching? What are y'all checking out? I like hearing from you about those things. Um, me, while I wait to see. I think this might be one of the few cases where I've built a kit before you have, so Slashbrook. Oh yeah, the Haro were a thing that I haven't heard of. I've only done 2 of them now. I did the loader and I did the ball, right? I think I did that. I can't remember which other one I did, but I did the loader. Um, but yeah, and the ball. But yes, this might be a thing where you are ahead of me. It's totally fair. Um, what was I gonna say? I'm watching the usual stuff. Um, uh, yeah, there's nothing like Tim, the magician, and the guy who loves old weird toys. I've been watching a lot of his stuff. Um, I've been getting caught up on that because I hadn't been watching lately, so I'm checking that out, which has been excellent. It's always good. All right, so we need 8, 2, 2, 11. All 3 11s on the bottom here, or all 4 of these are 11s. Okay. All these are 11s. All these are connectors. These come together really quick. We won't finish this tonight, obviously, but I will definitely finish this up on Thursday. I took a break, but I watched a bunch of the Beast Machines today. Still weird? Yes, Lashbrook, Beast Machines is still a weird show. You're not wrong. It was still a weird show even as a follow-up to Beast Wars. Beast Machines was really weird. Characters they're trying to figure out like where the lost souls were, the sparks were, and get those connected. The weird like character they met at the center of Cybertron to like be like, hey, what do you do? Oh, cool. Do you like us? Do you want to help us out? What's going on? I don't know. There's just like a lot of very strange stuff in that show. Yeah, we're definitely going to finish this up on Thursday, which is why I was very, very much hoping that we would be able to have kits that Lashbrook sent me, the gift cards to be able to buy. I was hoping I would get those in time for Thursday because this is going to be finished up on Thursday. But I don't think that's going to happen. So, I mean, if they mail them out tomorrow, maybe I'll get them on Thursday. They're coming from Florida, maybe, but I'm not super expecting that to happen. So I think that what's going to happen is I will start a high grade. I've got a high grade to build, and I think I will start that on Thursday. And then whenever that's done, then I will build the stuff that Lashbrook picked up. Do you know of Kitsune S? Do you know of Mobile Suit Skirmish? I am going to Google that because I don't know if I know about that. Is this a oh, it's a game. Introduction to fun use of Gunpla. It is up-to-date release of Mobile Suit Skirmish. Many thanks to talented team over at official forums. Core rules. Okay, all right, yeah. So it is a game to use. I'm gonna hit one of these play sheets and take a look at that. Okay, all right, yeah. So it is using your Gunpla to attack and defend. Okay. That sounds fucking rad. I'm good. It's a tabletop game. Yeah, to use your Gunpla as basically your figures. I'm gonna say this right now, Kitsune. I had not heard of this, and that sounds very cool. Wow. Yeah. No. I have bookmarked that page, and I am going to be perusing that later because that sounds very cool. And I will take a look at that later. Yeah, no, I had not heard of that. That sounds very fun. All right, so put this on here. One of the things I really like about these kits is that you don't have to do eyes for the Haro. The Haro eyes are built in. I think that's very cool. Always really like that about these kits. All right, we are gonna panel. So we'll hit this with some color there. Using figures you already had is a really fun idea to play a tabletop game. That is a cool idea. Ooh, actually, I'm using black on this. I want to use brown. I think brown is always nice on red. Usually use black on some other colors, but red, in my opinion anyway, brown is the way to go. But I did that out of habit. Let's see, other YouTube stuff that I am engaging in. As I said, I think I said this on Saturday, I've been slowly going through the archives of the Cruising the Cut gentleman, the guy that runs Cruising the Cut, which is I'm still watching those episodes when they come out, but he's on break because he's been dry docked. But it's somebody that has a canal boat in England. But he started his second channel a couple of years ago, and I just never was interested in it. But it is a thing for him and the van, the van that he converted into a camper van. I will say I was very interested in the building and the figuring it out portion. I'm not as interested in him driving to Scotland and just being like, hey, I went to Scotland for a weekend. Here's some footage of the drive. I am less interested in that. That's fine, but not really what I'm personally looking for. So I would say I highly recommend the build times, and not so much the camping excursions. Those are not something that I'm as interested in. But yeah, for the most part, watching that. Let me know in the comments if you're catching anything cool on the internet. If you're reading any manga, if you're watching any anime, picking up some old series, just getting caught up. If my talking about anime on stream, encourage you to check out a thing that you hadn't, you can let me know. Hadn't seen or hadn't heard of. Yeah. I would say like the big shows this season. Now that it's got one episode left, but like Jujutsu Kaisen was really great and it kept getting better. I think that's a fantastic show. A really empathetic, good boy. Is there a Discord for this? I do have a Discord for these streams, and it is the Build With Baer Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. It's pretty relaxed, pretty chill, but that is my Discord, and you're more than welcome to join. Be happy to have you. But doing a lot of watching of old stuff, getting through Baltimore, OVA, and movies 1 and 2. Hell yeah. Old stuff. Sometimes old stuff is the best stuff. Enjoy that. I have been slowly trying to watch all of the slice of life from eras where I didn't watch anime that much or didn't watch that many slice of lives. So there's a show that I'm definitely going to be checking out. Let me see it here. So let me look up the name of it. Sorry, trying to find this. Let's see. Sakura Quest. Sakura Quest is a show that I am about to start. It is a slice of life I haven't seen. It was just from an era where I wasn't watching a lot of shows that were just like girls into a thing. It is like a girl gets a job at a small town, basically to increase tourism to that town, and then it's her and the friends she makes along the way while doing that job. And I've heard very good things about it, but it was just a show that like it's a double length, which I really like. Sakura Quest. Oh yeah, it's a double length slice of life, and I should have seen it. It just was an era where I wasn't watching slice of lives, I guess. I completely missed it because I was watching another one for the podcast that I'm recording on Wednesday. That I'll talk more about when it's done. But I'm recording a podcast where we watched another slice of life that I haven't seen, and yeah, so I'm definitely gonna watch it because like it's just a premise that I was like, oh, why haven't I seen this? This is just a cool idea for a show. But I will definitely be checking it out. All right, so let me make sure I got this connected right. We want to do like this. Then this back has been engaged, and then once we connect to all the orb, we'll do the it's very charming and goofy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It seemed charming. I just like the premise a lot, so I was like, oh, I kind of want to check this out, so I will. All right, so 10 and then 9 and 9. Do that. All right, we'll get the face on, and that's probably where we're going to call it today, is once we get the face connected. And we'll panel line that, and then we will complete it. This isn't going to take much to complete on Thursday, but we will finish this up on Thursday because that's when we'll wrap this thing up. But we'll get we got to get the ears on. Just this here. And okay, get those on there. And which is luckily you just use the eyes as a guide. You're like, oh, the eyes are up here, so if we want to connect these, we connect them to this. And then I'll just pop these in. Oops. A show I haven't been weekly reviewing but comes out on Wednesdays is Non Biori Season 3, because when this season, or this anime season started, I hadn't watched all of Non Biori, season 2. I had watched I'd watched all of the first season and some of the second season. So now season 3, I was like, oh, okay, I want to get in on this. Still haven't watched the movie, uh, but yeah, that show is fucking delightful. I'll talk more about that on Wednesday. It is one of the best shows of the season, in my opinion. Um, it is just so cozy and great. I will say my only complaint about it was I think there were too many episodes about a character that was introduced, a new character, which I wasn't thrilled about the introduction of a new character, but whatever. Uh, she ended up growing on me, but I wasn't thrilled when it seemed like a lot of the show was going to, this season was going to be about her. I think the second half really picked up in terms of showing me the characters I like, doing the things I want to see them do. Uh, but yeah, it is a delightful little series. If you're looking for a show to marathon, Non Non Biori is just uh, basic premise is there's a out of the ways town that is so small that all of the kids in the town go to the same school in the same classroom, and there are 5 kids in class, um, and so they're all various ages. There's like a brother and his 2 younger sisters. There is a girl who's starting first grade. Um, and then there is a character who is transferred. She is moving from Tokyo. Her parents got a new job, or somebody in the family got a job, and they moved. And so she is she is kind of the character, or the we're learning about this life from her. But then it turns out she's also weird, because also everybody's weird. Everybody in the show is weird. The teacher is the older sister of the first grader, Renge. The older brother, he doesn't have a voice actor, folks. He never says a word of dialogue in 3 seasons of the show. And they wait a while before they do a gag where he's talking and you can't hear him. And there occasionally where characters say things like, oh yeah, I talked to him. He's studying for exams. He also, this season, wrote an incredibly beautiful New Year's card for Renge, a character that we've never seen him interact with, which I thought was beautiful and very funny. But yeah, overall, it is a lovely little show about weird kids in rural Japan. Renge has an older sister who goes to regional school. There's a neighbor who they know who goes to high school, because there's not a high school there, so you got to go a ways to go there. One of the best characters in Non Non Biori is Kaede, who they call Candy Shop. Candy Store. Sorry, not Candy Shop. Candy Store. Her name is Candy Store because she owns and runs the candy store. So all the kids call her Candy Store. Which is just a weird little nickname, but it works in the show. All right, I'm going to try to take a photo of this. I'm going to hold it while I take a photo, so you can watch that. And we are going to raid, folks. If you're like, Pat, oh, we're just going to end the stream, we're just going to go offline, and that's going to be it. No, silly friends. We are going to raid. We will find a cool stream doing cool shit. Trying to get the glare off of this, so let me do it over here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We are going to find a cool stream for cool streamers, and we're going to go hang out with them. So feel free to come along on that. My next build stream is this Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, but don't worry about it. I got another stream even before that. Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can come hang out with me, because I will be doing a Pat Bear's Anime Club live. I will be doing my wrap-up of the winter anime season and preview of the spring anime season. So what's coming up next, I'll be talking about that, but I'll also talking about what happened in the past. And you definitely want to check that out. We are going to go raid Mary Kish. We have not raided Mary in quite some time. Mary is currently playing Yakuza 0, which rules. And also Mary rules. So we're going to go give Mary a raid. So I hope you feel you can come along on this raid with me. We'll see Yakuza through the eyes of fantastic streamer and lovely person, Mary Kish. So I hope you come along on this raid. It's going to be a good time. And also, I hope you come check out my anime stream on Wednesday, my anime discussion stream on Wednesday, my building stream on Thursday. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you in the next Build with Baer. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.